Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk about how much silver is too much silver. So yes, some people might say that's a great problem to have, having too much silver. But I'll just show you some scenarios where having too much silver could be an issue and could be a problem. Starting with number one is you might have too much silver if you're finding you continuously need to sell part of your stack for fiat currency because you've run out of cash. Now, obviously, if you've been stacking for a long period of time, but if you're new to this, there are premiums attached to the silver. What you see, if you go and look up silver spot price, that is not what you're going to be paying when you walk into an LCS, or if you go looking on your online bullion dealers. There's going to be premiums attached to it. And with that, we also know that, it is a good idea to put some of your fiat currency into silver because, we do still live in a world where you do need fiat currency. It doesn't make sense to put in your entire paycheck into silver when, you can't buy groceries with silver. You can't pay your bills with silver. You can't pay your loans with silver. So yes, you got to make sure you're budgeted properly, and you got to make sure you have enough fiat currency to take care of everything. Also have some, set off aside for emergencies, just a little stack of cash, just in case anything pops up. We all know that it's a flawed monetary system. I'm not trying to defend fiat currency, but it's just a fact that you have to use it in your day-to-day life still. So it's, it doesn't benefit you to throw all of your money into silver and pay those, high premiums on top of it. If, a month down the road, you're going to be needing to sell some of it off to pay off a loan or pay off a car, whatever it is, you're just going to want to make sure that when you buy silver, just to not think about it, not think about having to sell it for like decades. That should be the mindset. It's a long-term game of silver. So you're going to want to make sure that you budget properly so you don't need to touch your silver or sell it at a loss because, you're low on fiat currency and you need to convert some of the silver that you should be holding long-term back into fiat. The second situation where you might have too much silver is if you're finding you can't secure it properly in your house. If you have a smaller house and a bigger family, and you just managed to carve out enough space for your one safe that you're currently putting your silver in, but you know that the way you're stacking, the way that you're accumulating, you're figuring out in your head that maybe a year, 2 years down the road, this thing's going to be filled. You don't cheap out, spend a lot of money, get the biggest safe you can afford and that you can properly install and hopefully bolt into the ground. But that's a finite amount of space. You are going to run out of it if you continue to buy silver. So if you were just able to squeak out that, small space for you, and you had to put like, your third kid's clothes or on top of the dresser now or something like that, just trying to find space, then, it's going to be even tougher to find room for that second and then that third safe. So if that's the case where you just jam-packed full of silver in that safe, then you might want to transition a little bit into gold, start picking up some fractional gold or the full ounce. It is a more efficient way of stacking. It's a denser way. It won't take up as much space. It'll be easier to carve out some space even in a jam-packed safe full of silver. If you're going to compare getting another monster box full of silver in there, just compared to just a little sack of gold that might have 10 ounces in it, you know what I mean? You can find a nice little spot for that in your safe. So the efficiency of gold and the space that it will save, if that is a premium in your house, if you are finding that there is no extra area for you to put like a second or third safe that will be needed for your growing stack, then yes, transitioning into the more dense gold might be better than picking up more silver. And if you're a prepper, you have to worry about portability. Talk about bug out bags and having something where if it happens, they'll just grab and go. So some preppers, they would like to take their entire stack with them. But whatever it is, whatever type of silver they want to put in their bug out bags or however much they want to put in there, that's how they're being prepared and that's how they're prepping. But that does take up space that might be needed for. I always talk about you're going to be traveling with your family. family, if you need to add some more, baby formula or baby diapers in the space where some silver might need to go, then, there's going to be, some decisions needed to be made. Or if you need to decide between, that third or fourth portable propane tank, or the third or fourth roll of Krugerrands, there's going to be some, issues that could arise from space just from, the footprint that your silver is going to take up. And just to give you an example, this is a roll of quarters. This is the smallest roll that I have. Obviously, these are, like I said, quarters. So you can get a lot of coins in there. I've seen people stuff as many as like 55, and it'll fit 50, it says, but I've seen people stuff in up to like 56 in there. So you can, get a lot of coins in there. And as I said, this tube is not very big. You can get a lot of these into a small space. But just considering the size of this, I don't have anything smaller, like a dime tube would have been better. But think about how much you could fit into something like this if it was a 1/10 ounce of gold. This coin here, these are some Canadians. So let me get an American one here. Just looking at this Washington quarter, you can see, so doing the conversion there, it's $4, and I think it was like 10 cents or something like that. So yeah, that's how much one of these is. And then, you can fit quite a bit into some tubes, and they're quite compact. But then you look at one American Eagle, 1/10 ounce American Eagle, that's gonna be, up over $200. And then you can fit however many in there. And I'm not sure about, topping them off with this. Like I said, this is supposed to be 50, but with a lot of the condition of the quarters, you can fit a lot more on top. I'm sure that, however many they say fit in the 1/10 ounce tube, that's the exact amount, but it's still going to be upwards of, I think it would be around like 50 that you'd fit in there. So you get 5 ounces of gold. So think of 5 ounces of gold, how much that is, and then how much in quarters you would need to have in tubes to equal that same amount. So if you want, instead of, walking around with, 10, 15 quarter tubes, you can have 3 quarter tubes, and then you can have 1 1/10 ounce. It has different purposes for your bug out bag. Obviously, this will be for smaller stuff and more exact way to barter. With the 1/10 ounce, you're just dealing with a little over $200. So that's, you can pick up some bigger things there. But if you're just bartering for smaller stuff, that's good for the quarters. So you have a little bit of wiggle room there. And with the gold, you can see it saves a lot of space. You're not going to need to take as much silver and take up that much room. So you're a little bit more portable. You have a little bit more room, and you can make more decisions on some other things to bring. So just to recap, yeah, it might sound funny talking about having too much silver, but you can find yourself in those situations where you're like, I just have too much silver. Like say you need $300 cash and you have 0, and you're looking at your monster box full of American Eagles. You're like, damn it, I got too much silver. I got to take one of these rolls in and get some money to take care of this. So unfortunately, some people I've seen in my comments have been in that situation. So, that's a situation where you have too much. And like I said, space is always an issue when you're dealing with silver. And of course, if you're looking at being a prepper, portability is always an issue as well. So those are some scenarios or some situations where it is possible to just have too much silver. But yeah, that was just a little video I wanted to make there, just thinking about some situations where, having too much silver might become a problem. And for a lot of people, I can understand where you're thinking that is a good problem to have. But yeah, as always, I do like hearing from you in the comments. So if you have anything to add, I look forward to continuing the conversation down in the comments. But yes, anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.